Hello everyone, this is Eagle and welcome back to Steel Division 2. It has been quite some time since we did the last American division review. Today we are still with the Allied divisions, but we are gonna talk about the first French division that we have here, and it is the second blindee or the second armored division. So it's mentioned here by the game that the Free Frenchmen of the second division blindee were eager to finally fight on their own soil. However, the division was theoretically organized as a US armored division, and some equipment was not delivered, with lack of bazookas and 76mm Shermans. So the division compensated this with good reconnaissance troops, and some infantry were from different countries like Spanish infantry. The division also had access to Wolverine tank destroyer battalion. It's mentioned here by the game that the second blindee can field a large number of fast units, which is excellent for rapid advances and quick ambushes, as mentioned by the game. Now, I did my own research regarding the second blindee, but I just wanted to clarify an important point here. So regarding the French divisions in general in Steel Division 2, although the equipments are accurately implemented in second blindee division, for example, it's worth to mention that the way that the French divisions in general are set up in the game are really biased. I mean, you get better cards availability, better stats for the infantry. Basically, you get an overall division that is much better than the British and the American divisions, which is no way near the truth. And of course, I can understand the bias since Eugene is a French company, but still, it does not make sense to put a division that theoretically can perform much better than the other Allied divisions, which actually carried most of the Normandy invasion. In reality, the second blindee actually saw little to no action in the main Normandy campaign. It was deployed 2 months after the Normandy landing, in August specifically, and its main task was to march to Paris, which was virtually undefended already. And the reason the Allied allowed them to do this was actually kind of propaganda to show the French people that their country is being liberated by French troops. However, on the ground, the second blindee did not start getting into real battle until the Allied started closing the Falaise Pocket, and then later it participated on the main assault on the German mainland. It's also important to note that the second blindee had almost 40% of its troops from other nations, Republican Spain soldiers, which are presented here as Novi soldier, soldiers also from Poland, Arab soldiers from occupied North African countries such as Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia, as well as African troops from other occupied colonies in Central Africa. Also, it's important to note that the second blindee, although it was commanded by Philippe Leclerc, it was actually part of the US 3rd Army under General Patton. It's also mentioned here by the game that the 76mm Shermans were rare. The truth is that the 76mm Shermans were rare for the whole Allied troops because their massive production started in April 1944, and they were not properly distributed to all the Allied divisions until late 1944. And by that time, the Allied were already kicked the German troops out of France. A fun fact related to General Leclerc that he tried to escape the front line in 1940 as a civilian, but he was captured by the German forces, and then he was able to convince the Germans to let him go by telling them that he was a father of 6 children, which was actually true, and that he was an exempted civilian from the military, which was obviously not correct. And the funny thing that the Germans actually believed him and they let him go, in which he was able to escape France after that and join de Gaulle in London. And the modern French main battle tank now is named after him, known as the Leclerc tank. That's all what I have regarding the second blindee. Let's move on and see how did we create this division. Okay guys, here we go, the second blindee. And as usual, I'm playing this in balanced, and that's how I configured the division. The division has some really good infantry units. It can really throw some good punch using the M4A3 76mm tanks. So let's go in and see the recon tab. So in the recon tab we have this space, if I'm getting the name correctly, I'm not sure, which is basically a recon unit of a strength of 4. So I took one card of these just to have better visibility on the field, and I have it equipped with captured German armored vehicles, which can provide some firepower, and it's also pretty cheap. It only costs 5 points. I could have coupled it with other kind of transports here. As we can see, lots of transports available, which I find it still also strange for a French division. I mean, you don't get this many transports and many availability in US or British divisions. But anyway, we already spoke about this. We also have the M8 armored vehicles or armored cars used by the French, by the Free French here. And I used one card from these in phase A. Also, we have the M4A3 75mm, and I used one card from these in phase B. They cost 80 points, and they have some really good availability, so that's why I took one card in phase B. I did not use the stewards, and basically there is nothing else here that is interesting. I could have added more M8s, and I know lots of players that actually use these M8s. This division basically is built to be used as a spam division, and most of the people I face them playing this division is using this technique, because you have lots of availabilities on the stewards and the M8s, which is historically inaccurate. I mean, you should not have all these kinds of tanks. Yes, you should have some, but not like 3 cards of M8s and 3 cards of stewards in phase, I mean, in recon tab only, and the slot even is not that costly. So I think this is just ridiculous. But anyway, I did not follow this technique. I only took one card of the M8s. And then the infantry here, even though they have limited slots compared to other divisions, but they have some really good units. We have this infantry units, the Voltigeurs, and they are a strength of 10, and they have long-range light machine guns, Brownings basically, and they are also good in medium range basically, because they have the 500-meter semi-automatic rifles and the carbines also. So this is a very good unit to start with in the game. And then we have the sabers, which have bazookas, by the way, and also explosives. So I took one card of these in phase A. And this we have this Novi division, which is basically a Spanish division, a Spanish unit, as mentioned by the game. And it has some captured German MG 34 and M1 Grand semi-automatic rifles. And then we have the Pioneers. I mean, these are normal Pioneers. Another Saber card I took in phase B. So as we can see, we have here a good combination between long range units and close combat units. And then we have the volunteers, or basically these are volunteers, which have the submachine gun Sten and the carbine semi-automatic rifle. They are better in maybe close combat, but they have also automatic rifles for long range, so they can somehow do both. And basically that's it. No representation of the African troops, not even on the recon tab for some reason. And but the availability of these units are very good, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, with this setup we get around 74 units, which is pretty good. We even have some units vetted, so that's not bad at all. We move to the tank tab, and here I used the Stuart, and we get actually 8 tanks if we use it without vet. But I vetted with 1 vet, so I got 1 card, and I have another card, and I have 2 other more M8 cards. So you can imagine that the amount of light vehicles in this division that can spam you to death if you choose to play Maverick and start with this kind of rush. So I would say that this division need to be reworked. But anyway, I'm not playing with that style, as I mentioned. Then you have the Shermans, and these are just M4A2 Shermans. And by the way, you have 8 cards of these tanks. 8 cards. I mean, not even the US divisions have these kind of numbers. And then you have the M4A2 command tank Sherman. So that's a different type of a different card of Sherman as well. And then we have only 1 card of the 76mm M4A3, and I added that in phase C. It can come in phase B as well, but it will only provide you with 6 tanks, so I choose to have it in phase C. Moving to the support, and one thing I notice here that we have lots of HE support or assault guns in this division. I mean, you can get total of 8 tanks in phase B, or 2 in phase A and 4 in phase B, and that's just too many. I mean, especially that the game now is more concentrated about the HE power and how you can hunt from far, from 2 kilometer far, using this 105mm HE shells. So, and then we have this also, the M8 that can also provide you some firepower at range of 100 or 1500 meter. So yeah, I mean, this division has some good support and assault guns. And then I took 1 card from the 50 cal here in phase A, and also we have flamethrowers, so I took 1 card of these. I didn't take the commandant. I felt like I'm wasting 1 more slot, and because I will use these cards in later tabs. So that's how I configured the support tab. And then in the anti-tank tab, we have I mean, the only thing that this division might lack is that the long-range anti-tank guns, and we don't have those. The only thing you can use is basically the M10 tank destroyers, and then you have this 57mm cannons, which you also have some good availability for these and lots of cards, but then you have to do some tricks basically to be able to hunt other tanks at range of 1500 meter. This is basically the only thing that this division lacks. We have one card of bazookas here. That's I choose to take one card of these in phase A, and you can actually get them in a faster card. This for the GBA. For some reason I took the Jeep, but yeah, I mean, this is how I configure the anti-tank. As we can see, we have lots of choices here. This division is very versatile. Moving to the anti-air tab, we have also lots of other choices. I choose to take the buffers in phase A, and then a mobile buffer basically in phase B. Others might take this 20mm capture German half track with a mounted Flak 38. It costs less, but I like to take more firepower, so that's why I actually took these two cards, and they will provide you with great anti-air support. In the artillery tab, we have also lots of choices here. So we do have the M7 Priest, 105mm, and I took one card from the basically command or commander of artillery, and the reason for that is that I don't have any commanders here in the infantry tab, or I did not use any commanders in the infantry tab because I was trying to save the slots. And of course, you have to take the 81mm mobile mortars. These are essential in these divisions or the allied divisions. They are highly mobile and they can do lots of damage to the opponent. And by the way, some people even use all the cards here. You have 4 cards. I mean, see the availability that you have. And you also have lots of M7 Priests, so large number of availability here. I mean, it's crazy. And you also have off-map artillery if you wanna use those. I didn't in my case. Just the off-map here is too expensive. They made it too expensive in the whole game, so I didn't take it this time. And I didn't want to take this off-map plane basically. It's pretty weak and very slow as well. So yeah, that's how I configure the artillery. The air tab, we have also good support from air. So we have this B-38s, which are pretty fast, 640 km per hour. That's very fast plane, and it's good for interception basically. It can intercept enemy bombers very fast. It is pretty weak though. It has weak resilience. I'm not sure why though, because it has 2 engines actually. So I would say that the resilience should be much better because you can afford to lose 1 engine. But that's how it's set up in the game. And then you have this DB-73 heavy bomber, and I used 1 card from these in phase A. They have also an okay speed, 470 kilometers, so that's a fast bomber actually. And then we have the Spitfire, very fast as well, have excellent agility, and I used another card on phase B, so that's total of 4 fighters. And we have some good anti-air, so this division can do good in air battles. And then I used the B-38 as a bomber as well, which is pretty fast in phase B and phase C. So yeah, that's how I configured this. I did not use the light rockets. I don't think they are actually, they can do anything. I feel they are useless. Same thing goes for this one. This is also pretty useless. So yeah, that's how I configured this division, and some people might configure it completely different than what I did. And the reason for that, like what I said, this division is highly versatile. It has lots of different choices that you can use. Let's see what did we do with this division in a battle, and the next battle is actually really good. So let's move in. So this is the game, and I am obviously playing with the second blindee, and I am on the right side with blue color this time, and my opponent is with red color on the left side. His name is KARJALA, I'm not sure. And yeah, we started deploying our units actually. So both of us has started deploying his units. I'm starting here with some flamethrowers and sabers, nothing unusual. Here also some infantry and an MG and some infantry as well. At the same time, my opponent is starting actually with light vehicles, so he's planning to do some kind of rush. Yeah, that's the way you set up things when you are planning to a rush. Oh, 3 Churchills as a start. Wow. And also some infantry here and a light vehicle. So he has an intention to do a fast rush. Here is how I set up my advancing units. And he starts right away with a Spitfire beacon. And that's also, some people do that when they have a plan to do a rush. Even though he's playing in a balanced income, and actually playing with this new division CIABG, which is one of the new divisions added to the game. Not sure what is this thing doing. But anyway, he couldn't destroy anything using this Piat. In here I was able to control the units. Here is the difficult battle. 1, 2, 3, 4 light armored vehicles, the Diameter and the Stewards basically, and he was able to suppress 2 of my advancing sabers, and there is another one here. I pushed B-38 against the Spitfire, and I believe the Spitfire has a better resiliency. Yeah, it was able to destroy the B-38 on a face-to-face, but it was also badly hurt. I have 15 flag and he has 9, and the reason for that is that he's not able to push forward as he was thinking that he can do. But let's see. He got stuck here firing at my sabers. He destroyed them, but they allowed me to basically deploy more tanks here. So that's huge number of light armor vehicle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 armored vehicles moving toward this point. In the center, he has one bite here hiding, but I have control over these two flags. In here, I have one Sherman here, which is basically pinning his troops on this side, and he lost the Spitfire only by the 50 cals on the Sherman and the M8, but the M8 here is lost thanks to this 57mm. Pushing a big number of light armor vehicle on this side. I still have 16 flag and he has only 8. Okay, an interesting battle here. 3 light tanks against only 1. So he was able to easily destroy those. I would say that the advance, my lead in the flags is just temporary because he actually have a better standing on the ground. He has tanks and he has infantry coming. He even here has more control, but he just he's not generating any area of influence because these are recon units. Now I have used the same method, which is following. I deployed lots of armored vehicles because I also have lots of armored vehicles. If we remember when I was actually explaining the division, the second blindee is one of the best divisions that can deploy spam of armored vehicles. And that's basically what I did here to counter this spam. Huge fight in the middle, large concentrated infantry in here. I have few number of infantry though. In here I was able to push. He deploys an 88. He loses one of the stewards here, but he has Cromwells and Churchill coming. I'm not sure. I don't think my Sherman basically will be able to hold against the Cromwell. The Cromwell is much better. Okay. Okay, this Daimler has a better gun. And I lost another steward, but I am doing a good flank here, which he is not noticing this yet. Not sure if I will be able to succeed. Yes. I think he will lose. Yes, he lost this. So this flank actually made a big difference. And I was able to force him to lose some of his light vehicles and penetrated another one, but he has another 3 here. He was forced to retreat. And here I was able to destroy the Cromwell. That's actually good. But there is a Churchill coming here, so I'm not sure to how extent I can actually defend this area. There is a flak 88 here. And a light division with a flak 88. I don't have yet the access to that DLC, so I'm not sure actually what he has, but seems like a good division. Oh, I lost one anti-tank gun here thanks to this Churchill. 3 Churchills. Still have 15 flag though, but I'm not able to dislodge these light vehicles here. I think we are gonna look at a battle soon between the Sherman and the Churchill. Most of the fight is concentrated here. I still cannot see this Payet. He's hiding here. He started to push on this flag. I'm deploying anti-tank guns to hold off this Churchill. Trying to support with the M8. to keep control of this flag. But he has lots of tanks, to be honest. Okay, trying to do a flank from this side. Okay, the Sherman now is going to face the Churchill. I think the Sherman was penetrated from a previous battle with the Cromwell, so I don't expect that it will do much. Let's see. And yeah, I lost the Sherman. Big loss. I have another Sherman here coming. Okay, deploy the bomber. He was able to clear my units from this flag, and now it's 13 flag to 11. So his initial rush using the light armored vehicles did not work as planned, but still he has control over the battlefield. Even though now we are both have similar number of flags. Okay, the Sherman here is trying to engage with the 88, which I believe is a big mistake. I should withdraw. I'm gonna lose this front. Looks obvious now. He has better troops and more troops. This Sherman was penetrated but was able to escape. In the center also he has better troops, better number of units. Okay, we have here the 57 mil. I believe we lost one of the light vehicles, but I was able to withdraw. He's gonna try to advance. This division looks like a very good division. I mean, it has large number of infantry, tanks, a mix between German and actually allied units. Sounds like crazy. Okay, this 57 millimeter here is engaging the Churchill, which is trying to push forward. I lost the M8 here. I wanted to do something against these two light vehicles, but I was not able to. Okay, he lost his Churchill, one of the Churchills. That's good. Now KARJALA has more flags actually, 13 to 11. He has a better standing or on the ground basically. More units, better combination of between tanks and infantry and anti-tank weapons. Again, I lost one of the M8s thanks to this 6-pounder, 57 millimeter. And now we are entering phase B. More tanks are coming. He has a good chance now to push and finish the game actually, because I don't have so many troops. But let's see. Okay, I'm deploying sabers, trying to clear this area. Also deploying some M10 tank destroyer here, trying to hold off this area as well. Here I'm pushing more infantry because I have less infantry. Trying to barricade in this area as well. Okay, I have here the M4105 millimeter, which I will use as a support gun to try to get rid of this flak 88. Okay, this M10 is engaging the diameter here, but it was able to escape. I should not advance too much though, because of the 57mm, which is about to fire. Having pioneers and sabers trying to fight here in the jungle and basically drive his forces away. And here I still have I don't have the control over both flags still, but I was able to destroy 2 of his Churchills. Here both of us are concentrating their units and putting more defense in this area. Here I'm trying to push slowly in the middle. Fighting in this town basically is one of the toughest things in this map. And I would say that the reason for this is related to that actually Eugene does bad city maps, basically. I mean, the way the buildings are done, the line of sight here is the biggest problem in this game. Line of sight sometimes doesn't make any sense. Okay, I was able to push a heavy bomber here to try to get rid of this anti-tank gun, but I was not able to completely destroy it. Huge CQC fight here. I believe I can drive his units here away. Yeah, and in here also. He has good flamethrower troops. Still he has control over these 2 flags. Deploying more infantry here. And deploying M7 Priest. Now the artillery stuff will start. Trying to do some heavy bomber support here to get rid of these infantry. Relying on the Novi squad, which is good in long range basically. Pushing my infantry units slowly. He has 1 Churchill here and 2 more Churchills coming, and we need to get rid of this 88 basically. Heavy fight here. More superior troops on KARJALA side in this area, because he has flamethrowers, and they look like very good flamethrowers, to be honest. This Zensi group or Zensi squad. Anyway, I was able to consolidate my line at least, putting a good defense, having this flag. Huge battle here, back and forth. This side I'm still trying to get rid of these units from the forest. Having some surprise party here. Some light infantry vehicles, light armor vehicles. Okay, I was able finally to get rid of his anti-air here, or target his anti-air using the artillery and the Novi squad, which basically has some long-range weapons. We destroyed one of the anti-air. Okay, he deploys right away 155mm artillery, trying to target my priest. But then now it will be an artillery battle actually. And I have the mobile artillery. Here I lose one of the Shermans, but I actually used this Sherman as a distraction in order to fire using this 105 millimeter to destroy his 88, and we are able to destroy it. That's great. See the number of concentrated units here. Now I am able to target the units in this side. Right away I started to move my artillery. This is the good thing about mobile artillery, that you can actually escape this. So, but you need to stay vigilant all of the time, because you need to keep moving your artillery all of the time just to be able to beat him. Otherwise, it's you will lose. Okay, this 57 millimeter is firing on this Churchill. He was able to withdraw. This is a very close battle. I mean, we are getting the flag and then we are losing the flag. It's very tough battle. He has one mistake here also, that he is deploying the 155 millimeters, the artillery, near the deployment area, and that can actually impact his reinforcement. Okay, he loses one of the 57 millimeter here. Basically no anti-air in this side. And I can't see his troops here because I have the recon units. Wow, this was a good hit. This is now an artillery battle and a very tactical battle actually. Both sides need to be very careful when advancing. Deploying more priests. I have lots of artillery in this division, so no worries. He was able to destroy the 57 millimeter using artillery, but I am able to suppress this artillery. The Sherman here is targeting his advancing troops. Oh, it's actually targeting these units still. He lost lots of units in this side and I can't see him, so that's a good advantage. Stacking more infantry units here, trying to have the upper hand on the center. Right away I started to move my priests away. Okay, we have this 94 millimeter. Oh, it's a very strong, powerful gun that destroys the 105, but no worries, also we have lots of 105s. That's the beauty of the second blindee. And I was able here to advance, trying to kill this beast. MG34. That's good. Are we going to be able to destroy it? Let's see. He's about to lose it. Yes, he lost it. That's great. Destroying one Churchill here using the M10 tank destroyers. As a response, he deploys the 17 pounder and he has one Churchill here. This battle is brought to a standstill. I think I am gonna be able to clear this forest soon. He cannot win from this range, he needs to be far inside. But I am not leaving anything to chance, deploying the B-38 right away. Still the artillery battle is going on. And I keep moving my priests away. More anti-tank guns are coming. He's trying to do a push here from the flank, basically, to destroy these units and do a flank like this. Not sure if this is going to work. He has a Cromwell though, and a Churchill, so I think he has a good chance being able to do this. I'm pushing my M10 here, hoping that I can do stop him from this side if he advances with the tanks. One bomber here was not successful because of his anti-air. He still has good anti-air. I believe I lost one of the priests here thanks to his artillery, so yeah, that's true. And that's what I was talking about. If you lose focus and don't move your mobile artillery, you are gonna lose it. They are less accurate than the stationary artillery, and therefore you need to keep moving them all the time. Trying to target his Cromwell using my heavy bombers. Okay, we are targeting this Churchill here, which has a frontal armor of 150 millimeter. It's Churchill Mark 7, I think. Yeah, and yeah, it's a very strong tank. We're trying to destroy it. And he really did what we expected. He tried to push some tanks from this side, but these M10 tanks did their job. Now trying to withdraw them. It's not good to keep them in the open. He's trying one push here using this FFO Fusiliers. Okay, I keep moving my priest. Okay, M10s also here are trying to target his Churchill and it destroys it. That's good. Deploying lots of units here just to keep this perimeter secure. He loses the Cromwell, that's very good, thanks to these units which have bazookas. So now I think I'm getting the upper hand on the battlefield. I was able to secure all the front line and I keep pushing more infantry and more troops. We have a similar number of flags now. He's still not pushing in this side. And finally the M4A3 76 millimeters are coming to the battlefield. The artillery battle is still going on. Wow, man. This is lots of artillery, but in wrong place. They are all close to each other. This is 182 millimeter. This is a very, very heavy artillery. But the problem is that you are deploying all of these at the same place and you lose their advantage basically. Again, I'm trying to target this 94 millimeter anti-air gun. I keep moving my artillery. Another anti-tank gun comes here. we are totally secure in this side, and on this side we are trying to push. Now he is now pushing large force on this area. He's determined to fight on this flank. I'm also deploying the mobile mortars now, which can be a game changer actually, because they will target all of these units. A large bush on this side and this side. I think he is trying to do an attack like this and basically target my flank. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 priests, and now I deploy the mortar, but you see all of my priests are spread away, and he basically did a mistake by having all of his artillery in one place. Heavy bombers targeting these. So now I'm able to suppress his artillery somehow. Yes, as you can see, I have a better chance of winning this artillery game. Huge advance in this side. I'm pushing Shermans as a response. This division has good anti-air, to be honest. Okay, losing one of the Churchills here thanks to the anti-tank weapons. Losing the second Churchill, wow. Big loss in this side. This attack is going to fail. Definitely going to fail. And here another bulk and another big attack coming, supported by tanks. Okay, what happened to the artillery here? More artillery. You see his units here got actually lost their transport thanks to the artillery fire. This is a big mistake. Okay, he is about to lose this anti-air gun as well. You see, I am pushing these, or I am bullying these tanks actually here. All of these, by the way, are 105mm, 3 105mm tanks. And I think the target is to destroy this gun. These guns can be lethal against tanks. Big bush on this side. He was able to regain control of this flag, and he's pushing. Still not able to put my air force on this side, and huge number of infantry coming. These converted gunners. Basically, these are cheap infantry units that they are going to push forward with. So at least this southern front now is secure. He's withdrawing. And now I need to put all my focus on the center. Okay. The 105mm started to engage with this thing here. So this is a really nice battle. I'm pushing the M10s to destroy the Churchill, and I'm firing on this one using the 105mm. I lost one of the M10s. but I was able to get rid of this gun. Huge battle. In the center, see the amount of troops in here. Too much. Finally, we got rid of this gun. But as a response, I'm deploying lots of M4A3 76mm. He has 14 flag now, thanks to the huge bush on the center, which I don't think, I'm not sure, I don't think this will work, to be honest, but let's see. This M10 is firing on this Churchill. Churchill cannot see it. Another gun comes here, the 76mm. But I have three tanks here, and I don't think he will be able to. Yeah, I lost one of them, but I am able to destroy this gun. Probably it will be destroyed. Yeah, this gun is lost. In here, the 76mm Shermans are pushing hard. He lost his anti-air, so I have now the opportunity to fire using the heavy bombers. Oh, the artillery is destroying lots of his equipments that is passing through this road. Too bad. I mean, this is large concentrated units that are going to be punished, basically. These M4 105mm are suppressing these units as well. Cromwell here destroyed one of my M10s, but the 76mm is pushing the Sherman M4A3 Easy 8. Now I started pushing some infantry, losing another Cromwell. Still firing on this Churchill, and this Churchill cannot see. I can't see it thanks to the beacon here. He's still stacking some units also on the south, but the southern front is static, basically. Okay, he's gonna lose most of these units here. Yeah, I lost large number of infantry. I'm pushing now large number of infantry as well. 13 flag to KARJALA and 11 to my favor, but I think we now have better standing on the map. A Firefly comes. I'm pushing the M4A3 Sherman. Trying to confront this. Penetration. He also got a penetration. And he loses the Firefly. Okay, I have full control on the airspace now, thanks to the fact that he does not have anti-air now in the middle, or in the south, or in the north, for that matter. So he basically lost all of his anti-air, and now I'm pushing even further, trying to secure this front. These HE Sherman tanks are really doing some good job suppressing these units from advancing. And this M10 is still firing, man. It lost its all AD shells firing on this Churchill. Wow, this Churchill has a very good frontal armor. But even though it's actually showing its side armor here, so I'm not sure why it's not getting destroyed. There is an ambitious try here to push forward. I lost my Sherman here, 76mm, thanks to this gun. He tried to put one diameter here, but I have here tanks that can actually destroy him. And he had a surprise for the 57mm here, and at this point he decides to surrender. So kills 2790, and for me it's 3475, big difference. He made some big mistakes in the game, but overall it was a good game. Let's see the kills. Yeah, so he really did a good push on the north side using the light armored vehicles, the Daimler, at the start of the game. But then he should have carried this and pushed further. And I think that's one of the reasons this game was lost for KARJALA. But also, the artillery, the way he put the artillery on the map was also a big mistake. You should never put the artillery near to each other like this. Anyway, okay, one kill here using the Daimler. This Daimler did a really good job destroying some of my light tanks. Yeah, the Spitfire destroyed the B-38. No surprise here. Churchill destroyed good tanks. Churchill here also destroyed some of my armored vehicle and tanks. 6-pounder destroying some tanks. This unit's destroyed here lots of infantry. He had good flamethrower units. This Dynasty destroying large number of my units as well. As we can see, this is a very strong flamethrower unit. The 88mm here destroys one of the Shermans. I think, yeah, he killed 2 of my cannons, 57mm, using the artillery. And then here also I lost one of the 105 Shermans using the anti-air gun. I also lost one of the priests. The Cromwell here destroyed lots of tanks. Not bad, not bad at all. We lost some tanks here, some precious 76mm, thanks to the 6-pounders and 17-pounder. Other than this, nothing is really unusual. Looking at the losses from KARJALA side, so strange enough here I was able to down the Spitfire using the M4A2, which is a very weird thing, using the 50 cal. But I was also able to destroy some precious tanks. Here I destroyed lots of his anti-tank using heavy bombers. Also, a big battle happened here between the light armor, and I was able to destroy most of them. As we can see here, the 57mm was able to destroy 2 Churchills. These 2 novice squads actually did very well in long range, destroying some of the most precious anti-air. The artillery also was able to destroy one of the flags, 88mm. And I relied heavily on the 105mm, destroying some of the long range flags like the 41 88mm and the 94mm as well. M10 tank destroyer, destroying some Churchills. 57mm destroying Cromwell. He advanced recklessly at some point, which allowed me to ambush some of his tanks and destroy them. The mortars also, this mobile mortar did pretty good against the anti-air. And see, this M4A3 76mm Sherman was able to destroy lots of his units and tanks as well. The artillery did really some good job supporting the infantry and destroying some of the guns. Other than this, nothing is really unusual. This was a great game. Thanks everybody for watching, and see you in future games.